One individual issues a public challenge to Congress, confident his words will disperse them. Instead, one congresswoman accepts his challenge, reflects it back, and compels him to face his own image. This marks the turning point. The press room filled with anticipation as Trump approached the podium, his typical confidence masking what was about to unfold. He tested the microphone with measured precision, drawing everyone's attention toward him. "All right, everyone settle down," he began, his practiced tone promising an engaging performance. "We have some genuine geniuses in Congress, people. Real stable geniuses. I believe it's time we prove it. I'm challenging every member of Congress to an IQ test. Right here, right now. Let's see who has the brains and who merely has the mouth." The cameras flashed rapidly, capturing what Trump believed would be another moment of his dominance. His eyes scanned the room, seeking reactions and targets. They found one in the third row where Jasmine Crockett sat motionless, her expression unreadable, observing with quiet intensity. For a moment, silence filled the room, except for reporters' urgent note-taking. Then Crockett placed her pen neatly on her notepad and rose with deliberate calm, her movement demanding immediate attention. "Mr. Trump," she began, her voice carrying clear authority that demanded silence. "You want to test us? That's an interesting proposal from a man who has yet to release his own academic records." The words hit the room like a stone in still water. A few sharp intakes of breath echoed through the space. Trump's expression tightened, but didn't vanish completely. "I have the best words. Everyone says so. I attended the best schools," he replied defensively. Crockett stepped forward, her gaze steady. "The best schools teach that you don't get to set the test for everyone else while concealing your own answers." The dynamic shifted instantly. What began as spectacle became interrogation. Trump had challenged their intelligence, and she had questioned his integrity. Trump's face flushed as he pointed a finger meant to intimidate, but now appearing desperate. "This isn't about me. This is about the do-nothing Congress, the radical left destroying this country." "You're right," Crockett interrupted. The unexpected agreement caught him off guard. "It's not about you," she continued, her tone sharpening, "because you can't handle it being about you." The room fell completely silent. This was the crack in his carefully constructed image of invincibility. I didn't mean," he stammered, his train of thought completely derailed. Crockett pressed on, her voice dropping to a dangerous whisper. "Didn't mean what, Mr. Trump? To expose your own insecurities on national television? To show everyone that this IQ test is just a cry for help?" She had identified what he was hiding and stripped away his primary weapon: mystique. He was simply a flustered, exposed man whose verbal armor lay scattered around him. A nervous laugh escaped from the back of the room, quickly suppressed. Crockett's eyes swept the room, acknowledging the shared understanding. "You talk about IQ," she said, her voice rising with controlled intensity. "But you can't even spell ethics without a teleprompter and a team of lawyers." The line landed effectively. Suppressed laughter rippled through the press corps. Trump's face darkened, his composure completely lost. "That's a lie, a nasty lie," he sputtered, gesturing wildly. "She's a nasty woman. Just like the other one." The comparison was a mistake, a desperate attempt to reference a past battle already lost. Crockett didn't react to the insult. She simply smiled with cold precision. "Nasty? I'm just stating facts. You're the one making it personal. That's what people do when they're losing an argument. They get emotional. They get nasty." She had returned his own word with surgical precision, twisting it back against him. The laughter died, replaced by tense electric silence. Every attack was dissected, labeled, and returned to him, heavier and more damaging than before. The room hummed with tension as Trump realized he was cornered. Like any cornered figure, he lunged with his final verbal assault. "See? She can't even answer a simple question. All talk, no action. Another puppet of the radical left." But Crockett wouldn't let him finish. Her voice cut through the noise like shattered glass. "Another what?" The question hung in the air, a perfectly weighted blade demanding an answer. Trump froze, his mouth snapping shut mid-tirade. A flicker of panic flashed in his eyes, barely visible but unmistakable in the silent room. Crockett moved closer to the podium, her presence filling the space he was rapidly vacating. "Another what?" she pressed, her voice dropping to a near whisper that was somehow louder than a shout. "Another woman who outthinks you on your best day?" Complete silence followed. Not quiet respect, but heavy, suffocating silence that swallows sound and leaves only truth. Trump looked around wildly, like someone searching for an exit in a locked room. That's ridiculous," he stammered. But the defense was weak tissue paper against a tidal wave of reality. Crockett remained motionless, a statue of undeniable truth watching him crumble in real time. The power shift was felt throughout the room and would be felt by the nation watching. She then delivered the final blow with calculated precision. "You know," she began, her voice now conversational yet terrifying, "this obsession with IQ tests is fascinating. It tells me you believe intelligence is a number, a score on a page." She paused, letting the words hang in the air. "But real intelligence, the kind that actually leads a country, isn't about how fast you solve a puzzle. It's about character. It's about honesty." Leaning in, her voice dropped to that conspiratorial level again. "So let's take your test. But let's make it a real one, not an IQ test, a corruption test." The word corruption hit the room like a stun grenade. Trump's face drained of color completely. He looked like he'd seen a ghost. "Let's see your tax returns. Let's see the hotel ledgers from foreign dignitaries. Let's see the foundation's books. Let's test your financial IQ, Mr. Trump. Let's test your ethics." Crockett wasn't just challenging him anymore. She was building a cage around him, bar by verbal bar, using his own concept as the lock. He was frozen, trapped in a creation of his own making. Trump's shoulders slumped. The bluster was gone. The fight was over. He looked smaller, diminished. A man in an oversized suit that suddenly appeared like a costume. "This is ridiculous," he mumbled, the words lacking any form or fire. "This is a witch hunt." The protest was weak, a tired echo from a bygone era. Crockett stood tall, her posture rigid and unyielding. She didn't offer a retort. She didn't need to. The victory was absolute. Instead, she delivered the final grounding statement. "Ridiculous is being afraid of the truth. Ridiculous is challenging the intelligence of others because you're terrified of what an honest examination of your own character would reveal." The room erupted in spontaneous, thunderous applause from the press corps, who were now openly cheering her takedown. Trump looked at the clapping hands, confusion and betrayal evident on his face. He had lost the room, the narrative, and the day. He turned abruptly and walked off stage without another word, leaving behind a podium, a microphone, and a legacy of public self-destruction, all captured in high definition. The applause continued moments after Trump disappeared, then slowly died down, replaced by the organized chaos of reporters filing their stories. Jasmine Crockett remained standing, a solitary figure in the center of the storm she had commanded. She didn't acknowledge the applause or offer a victory lap. She simply gathered her notepad and pen with the same calm deliberation as when she had risen. She gave a curt nod to colleagues who met her gaze, then walked out. Her exit was as powerful as her entrance. There was no triumph in her stride, only purpose. The camera lingered on the empty podium, the microphone still warm from the heat of confrontation. The space where a man had thought he was a king was now just empty space, humming with the aftermath of his hubris. True power doesn't announce itself. Its absence is felt more profoundly than its loudest presence. What is more ridiculous than a ruler who fears his own reflection? The echo of Crockett's words remained, resonating far beyond the press room, a testament to the enduring power of intellect over ego, of courage over bluster. The confrontation had ended, but its truth had just begun to circulate, spreading through every screen and device, a virus of undeniable reality in a world hungry for authentic leadership. Who won the debate before the first exchange was even completed?